What's up, film jammers? Today we're taking a look at a really cool new RGB tube light. Not only does it have effects built in like cop car and lightning, but it also has an integrated battery. Ooh, hello. It might look like a Quasar or an Astera, but it's not. Stick around and we'll show you what these PavoTubes can do. Whoop, whoop. Film. I found these NanLite PavoTubes at NAB this year, and I really loved all of the features in them and the relatively low price. So I bought a 2-light kit right after NAB, and I've already used them on a lot of projects and my new feature film. So these PavoTubes are really similar to a Quasar RGB light. I love my Quasars. We've done a few reviews on them. Make sure to check those out if you haven't seen them yet. The main differences for me are battery internal, power, and the price. So you want to know more? The PavoTubes have an internal battery. It lasts up to 2 hours. This is really convenient for shorter shoots or if you're shooting outside and you don't have AC power. I really love that they were able to put this internal battery in them. It's the biggest thing for me that sets them apart from my Quasar RGBs. It makes them great for car scenes or other spots where it can be difficult to power your lights. Very similar to the Quasar RGBs, these PavoTubes also have integrated effects in the lights. So you can simulate cop car, storm, which is basically lightning, candle mode, which is similar to a firelight, strobe or flash, SOS mode, and color chase. Having these effects combined with a full RGB spectrum of light really opens up a lot of creative possibilities. It's really amazing the tools that companies are now giving us that used to cost us thousands or tens of thousands of dollars.
Back in my day, I had to get pulled over by the cops if I wanted a cop light. Now I just turn it on.
The kit of 2 4-foot PavoTube lights was $739, or roughly $370 per light. It includes a nice little case, some safety cables, 2 mounting shoes with 1/4 screws for each light, the power splitter cable, and the link cable, the charger, and of course, the integrated battery. To compare, the 4-foot RGB Quasar tubes are $1,200 for 2 or $599 per light. So they're almost double the price of the PavoTubes, and you do get that really nice internal battery on the PavoTubes. So I think these lights are gonna be pretty popular. They don't have the name recognition or the durability or the power of the Quasar, but so far they've worked really well for us. And if you're looking for a budget option that has a lot of similar features to the Quasar, I think these make a lot of sense. Let's check out the fixture. This is kind of an interesting design choice. They actually printed the directions onto the fixture itself. So if you need a little refresher on how to use them, or if you're renting them out, this is a nice feature. Let's talk about the controls. On one end, you've got 2 dials that control all your menu settings. You can use them to adjust intensity of the light, select effects, etc. On the other end of the light, you've got input for AC power and the link cables. These let you join 2 or more PavoTube fixtures together. By doing this, you can sync the effects to multiple fixtures quickly. But you don't have standard DMX, so keep that in mind. One major downside for me is that the 2-light kit only came with 1 power supply. So if you want to power them off of house power, you've got to tether them together with the included splitter cable. But the splitter cable is only about 2 feet wide. So you have to keep the lights super close together if you're powering them. It's kind of an odd choice, and I looked at buying a second power supply, but they don't sell it, or I couldn't find it anywhere. If I want to use them together and use house power, I've got to put them close together or rely on battery power, which only lasts up to 2 hours. Another downside is that the 4-foot PavoTubes have 20 watts less power than my Quasar RGBs or my Quasar crossfades. That extra 20 watts does make a big difference, so hopefully in the next version, they can pack a little more power in there. That's a lot of power right now. Oh. My Quasar RGBs have a really nice locking PowerCon connector, whereas on the PavoTube lights, they have a much smaller power jack, and I feel like it can come out a lot easier when you're on set working.
It's too flimsy for my tastes.
Charging light. It's sort of difficult to tell when the PavoTubes are charging. The only way that I could tell that they were connected to power was that there was a very faint glow behind the LED screen. It's definitely not a deal breaker for me, but I feel like it's more difficult than it should be to know if my lights are charging. So overall, I feel like these lights are a great step forward for tube RGB lights. I love that they have an internal battery included. I really like the integrated effects and the fact that they're RGB. I wish that the power system was a little better designed, and I wish that they had a little more wattage, but for the price, these are really hard to beat, I feel like. So what do you think? Are these gonna give Quasars and Asteras a run for the money? Let us know down in the comments, and we'll see you next week. row, row your boat gently down the stream. Whew, that's a lot of work.
It's too flimsy for my tastes.